Alright, here we go.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Ship destruction imminent. Security hull breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Alright, that's not too bad. I seem to be getting a consistent 345. I can't seem to get any quicker than that. Sad. Lonely.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Alright. No! Ah, damn it. Oh well.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind. This is not a branching point, unfortunately. The only option is to step.
Come on.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards. So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing
Nice.
trope. It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
This is horrible.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't
Time
be
lost
clear
then.
just yet.
Oh well.
Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Nice. Alright, that felt fairly quick. That might be a new... that might be my PB. This is a much better run than the one I had earlier.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Earlier I was seeing huge time losses, so...
Coda would often
This
tell
is
me that
nice.
he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
You see, guys, that's what the staircase means. Alright, cool. Turn off the narrator. Turn off Davey reading. Ah, damn it. Terrible. Oh man, that was bad. Yeah, that might be a time loss. Oh yeah, but PB's 1 second behind my best, so yeah, there's definitely a time loss. Just wonder how much time I'm gonna save. I mean, how much I'm gonna lose. Lost 2 seconds. Alright. I should have saved and reloaded. Oh well. Yeah, this is another time loss. Oh well. Yeah, alright. Whatever, man. Now turn David Reading back on.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Right, am I gonna save time here? Unlikely.
To make all of these games,
Oh,
Coda
man,
is using
almost.
an engine called Source.
I can get down
Like all
skip.
engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly.
Oh
One
man,
thing it
I'm
does
getting
very
so close to
well
down
is
skip,
boxy linear corridors.
but just not getting
That's
there
why
yet.
so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. This prison, funny enough, in Coda's
Wow, I skipped
original
over the
design,
dialogue. That's how
the
quick I
doors stay
was.
shut for a full hour before
Nice.
letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors. This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file
You got stuck there?
entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games,
Ah, come on,
each
man.
of which was just an empty box that you walked around in, and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't. It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
I somehow saved a second from the world
What
record
makes
though.
this puzzle so special that
On,
Coda is going to return to
XP.
it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly. Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Oh, come on, man. Damn it. If anything goes bad, I could probably save... I can save a lot of time in the epilogue. I can save about 10 seconds there. Because I did it earlier. So I should be able to repeat it, right? Hopefully.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
I might lose time on tower though. I'm not sure. It's a lamppost.
It's a lamppost.
Told you.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're gonna see it in the work as well. His games are just gonna become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Ooh, I don't know if this is a time save or not. Might be a time loss actually. Ooh, I think it's a time loss, yeah. Maybe? Oh no, it's a gold! Holy shit. My best ever down. Nice. Alright, guess I'm gonna do it in notes now. Unlikely I'll be able to save any time here. Come on.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings,
this was good.
And beliefs, and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Oh damn, that was bad. Bad hop there.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing.
Oh, come on.
I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too. At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Oh, is this a time save? I don't know.
An idea
Might
that was
not
on
be.
Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing.
Yeah, it's definitely a time
the door on
save. I'm just wondering if it's gold or not. It's probably not a gold.
Before moving on to the next one.
Yeah, not a gold.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, you know, he
Still, we
might find
saved 6
difficult,
seconds. Holy
Coda
shit.
can then place this.
Right. Now for prisoner. Now for prison.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Nice. Alright. Oh, whoops.
See, like,
4
this is
seconds.
it,
Alright, cool.
The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly
pretty
interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Alright. Would this finally be the sub 50 run I've been looking for? I hope so. Like I said, I could probably save like 10 seconds in epilogue because I managed to do it earlier, so I'm hoping that's what I get. And if so, if I can, my current PB is 5020, no 5021. So if I can save enough time, hopefully I can get a sub 50. Alright, cool. I mean, I'm gonna save it here, you know.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Alright. If you say so, David Whedon, I quite like it.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Come on. Right. Do that so I can move. Nice.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no
I've just realized I don't have my notes
actually
written
get to
down
the
for
level.
the
And then a version where the inside
for
of
the cleaning
prison is
level.
the outside
So I'm
and
just
the
gonna have to do it off
outside is
memory.
the inside.
Hope I can remember
Let me
it.
just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going.
Yeah, go out.
And then he hits on something.
Right,
And he
hopefully I
likes
can
it. And
get
that's
some
it.
good jumps
He's
here.
done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
I tried wall strafing off of these hedges, but I got there's like something like that stops you, so you can't actually do that. You're doing this last one though. Hopefully. Oh, I didn't get the speed I wanted. Alright, there you go. This feels pretty quick, honestly, but that could just because I'm 7 seconds ahead, or
It's a
whatever.
conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Go on. There we go. Oh, that feels good. That might. I don't know if that's quick or not.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion. to
Oh,
the
this might be a
presentation.
god actually.
After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes. Yes, it's a gold. Holy shit! With 13 seconds.
So what would it look
Right,
like
hopefully
if
I'll remember
Coda
the order
wanted
for
to
these-
make a game
these
about talking to
cleaning
someone
chores.
other than himself?
Alright. I could have totally grabbed the list, but I just couldn't be bothered to.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Alright. I know it's table first. Table rug and table bed and rug is the first one. I know that much.
you'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Speaking of demons, someone put the couch in a mess. Right. And then this one. I believe the rug. Oh, it's books, and then. Oh no, there's the table.
After the intense set of prison
Oops.
games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful. I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this
I've
was
remembered the
only
order.
one that
Holy
he
shit.
called me
I
up
don't know
and
if this is
asked
going to be a
me
10
how
time
we were
save or
intended.
not, though.
This was during a
Maybe.
period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
I almost forgot to do the text. Let's do this, yes. Come on!
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
This feels like it could be another gold, honestly. I mean, there was that one slight hiccup, but that was about it.
But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Oh, I don't know if this will be a gold,
Which
actually.
is the
I don't think it
whole
will
point
be.
of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
It is a gold! Holy shit! We saved 5 seconds!
This one gets a bit goofy.
Actually, that's... No, there's 5 seconds. It's barely 5 seconds. Because the 13.98, so it's more like 4 seconds. It even says right there, previous segment -4. Oh man, this is looking like a really good run. Could this be the final, the sub 20 I've been looking for after these past few weeks of me running this game? I don't know if I'll be able to get any faster than sub 50, honestly. Oh man, I hope there's a sub 50 so badly. Well, I don't know how I'm going to be able to save time on theatre and then Mobius. Or actually, no, I say islands, but I don't think about that. But I managed to get gold earlier, so perhaps I can do it. Whew. Come on, let's have this be the sub 50 run. Come on. I hope this is. If it's not sub 50, I'll be really disappointed. Alright, here we go.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover
I don't want to do
that
this
the
like
teacher is
selfless.
just as bigoted and afraid as you are.
I can save 0.06 seconds apparently. Perfection.
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Yeah, well, that's pretty obvious I was going to lose time there, though. Alright.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make.
Oh,
it was
whoops.
4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex.
1, 2, 3,
so
4.
I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
I think this is it. Maybe here. Okay, not frame perfect. Oh well. No, I'm not going to stay right here, Coda. Fuck you. I'm going to stand on this woman. Hello. Hello. That's it? That's not a conversation. What are you talking about, Coda? Come on. Do it again? Alright then. I'll say I'm super scared right now. Alright. Why does he have to stand next to the wall? Is what I want to know. And then we go right up next to the wall here. Somehow save time on getting from the world record on chores, which is surprising. Kind of. Well, the world record run is definitely not perfect, honestly. I think even Moose Hockey knows that because he says that the one wasn't perfect in his submission.
The game ends with this eerie premonition.
This is a good hop as well, so heck, maybe this is a time save.
The solution, social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Oh, it's time loss. Oh, no, it's not. Alright. Alright. Same here. This won't be a time save, sadly. I'd be very surprised.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that come from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Oh, it's gold! Holy shit! This could be the sub 20 run, you know. I mean the sub 50 run, sorry. I hope it is. I hope I can make up all the time in epilogue. I hope this island works. Hope I get the gold here. Or match it, at least.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on. You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash. Seeing this game at the time that he made it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really
I don't think this is going to be a time thing,
and I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Maybe it's a time save. I don't think it is, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably not a time save.
At the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
I might be
I
a
wanted
lost
it to
time loss,
stop
actually, by like
more
a
than
second.
anything.
I think.
I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Oh no, it is a time save, just barely. Alright, machine. This is going to be very hard to save time on. I intend to be quick. I hope I can get the skip, but I don't think I can. How did I say 5 seconds on the world record? Holy shit. On islands. Ah, so close. So close.
And of course, it's the machine.
I was so close to getting the skip then. Holy shit. Oh well. I know how to hurt you, machine, because I am a machine, damn it. Alright. Alright. Looks like he must have gotten a really slow island then. Holy shit. Because mine was only a 0.1 time save from my own PB. I think that you actually do have to shoot the arena, honestly. I think that is part of what causes the next dialogue to trigger.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive.
Which is a shame, because I really don't
And I'll
want
tell
to
you,
shoot this
at the
stuff
time
up,
that I
but
first
I kind
played
of
this
have to.
game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it.
Yeah, all these marks are just like the arena being painted with white. There's not like they're not actually cracking into the, you know, the.
If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Dunno, mate.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one. I I took this one, I took this one, and this one, and the islands which you just played, the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the theater, the notes, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions, and the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of. Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do?
Please, let this be the sub 50 run, please. If I can save 10 seconds on epilogue, and this is definitely the sub 50 run.
When they see themselves purely in my work,
please, let this be sub 50.
There's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy, so beautifully, beautifully happy.
See?
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and
this might be a time loss, because like the baby was so close to my best
for a while.
So maybe this is a time loss.
June of 2011.
Don't know.
And I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
It's a gold! Holy shit! We are on the pace for a sub 50. Well, actually, it's exactly 50. But if I could save time in epilogue. So
and this is where I have trouble.
This looks like it could be the sub 50 run. Holy shit!
Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world.
That was a loss of momentum.
It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it.
No, it doesn't. Well, it does, technically.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's
please,
this
let this be a sub
noise.
50 run,
So the experience is really
please.
miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze. And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned the house forever.
Oh, whoops.
I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate.
Right.
What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite.
I want to be very careful that
everything
I
else
don't
Coda
hit the
has
number.
made.
That's
It
why I was a
doesn't
little bit
encourage
hesitant there.
thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on. The switch to open this door is actually on the
This
other
looks like a
side
really
of the
fucking
door,
good tower, so
meaning that
maybe
it's
this is the
literally
sub
impossible to
50
solve
run
from
that
the
I've been
side.
looking for.
So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two
Please.
chapters,
Oh man, it's been
and you
really
got to this
hard to
point,
beat my
there's
best.
actually
Or my
just no way to
PB.
progress. And it's scary for me. The idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely. Just saying, you know, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the
Excuse me?
problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I
Oh,
don't know
come
why
on.
I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to,
man.
though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand
come
who
on,
he
man.
actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Ooh.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
Oh, oops.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did.
Oh.
I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important.
Come on.
They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment...
Oh my god, that was
I
under
had
5
that.
minutes. Maybe this is a
liked
time save.
myself.
But then again, the dialogue doesn't have to play out, so maybe it's not
And
a
then
time
you
save.
stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to...
This
be
could
with
be the
myself.
sub 50 run.
And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean? I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself. That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Oh my god, this is a gold! Holy shit! This is it! This is the sub 50 run! Oh my god! We saved 9 seconds there! Wow! Wow! Oh my god! Right, here we go. Let's try and save 10 seconds here. Not that I really need to, but it'd be nice. Oh, yeah, lost a bit of speed there. That's fine.
More love, more
Alright.
praise, more people telling
Oops.
me that I'm good.
Ah, god damn it.
Always more.
Come on! Alright.
It's like a disease. Solution. 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 I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. Wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes me.
Oh my god, this looks like better than what I was getting earlier. Holy shit.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
One minute 23. That's actually faster than what I got earlier. Earlier was a 1 minute 27, so this might be faster. I lost a bit of speed there, but whatever.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive.
Wow, this has been a really fucking good epilogue. Oh, I got stuck there. God damn it. That does happen. That's why you shouldn't really walk straight along there.
I think I need to go.
Come on.
And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Yeah, this is... I shouldn't have done those wall strafes. Oh well. It's a real, like... It's a real problem with those. There we go. Please let this be the sub 50 run. I've brought it all the way down from 57 minutes. I could finally get a sub 50. Please, please. Oh, come on. This looks like it's the one. It's the sub 50 run. Please. Oh, fuck, come on. Don't let that ruin it. Oh, come on, please. Oh, man. There it is! 49 minutes 35! Yes! Fucking hell, we did it! Oh, 46 seconds saved! Holy shit! Oh, I don't know if I'm going to get a run better than that. Not for a long time anyway. Oh, man. Sub 50 at last! How did I save 16 seconds on that epilogue? I thought I was just going to save 10 seconds. Holy shit. Oh, man. Oh, that was such a good run. I'm not going to get better than that for a long time. Damn. Whew. Yes, sub 50 at last. Oh, man. That's made me so happy. That's made me so fucking happy. You have no idea.